Game 2, 1990 NBA Finals, right? First play of the game by Detroit. And now the first play doesn't just tell you, oh, the coach just told them to run this play first. It tells you who they want to focus on for them to be able to build rhythm early on in the game. And for Detroit, that's James Edwards. Came out this game, I think he scored the first 12 points of the game, all from like this right side of the floor. Over the right shoulder, left shoulder, don't matter. Duckworth still couldn't stop it. He was getting his buckets off. And it was reason as to why he was a leading scorer for this game. Ended this game with 26. Tough buckets, man. Skill right there. But now let's keep it pushing. Now, boom, right there. That's why as a player, you always got to focus on being able to make a play within the play and not just trying to run a play. So notice Dumar's coming up on this right side, right? So boom. You'll probably think if he catches right here underneath the rim, the help's going to pinch in. Big man probably going to be able to block that. But he's going to be able to pinch in help, which will allow him to be able to say, sneak along that baseline, maybe then make a play for a teammate, make a kick out. And now he's just making a play off of having good positioning. It doesn't mean he has to score all because he has a good spot. And then right there by Dumar's though, bucket. But peep the angles right there after he caught that and they decided to gamble and miss that steal. Notice, right? I believe that's Porter. Tries to gamble. Boom. Misses it. But notice where he's going to take this step. Cross steps it forward. Most players like to take a trigger step backwards. But if you take that trigger step, realize you're taking that step and you're going negative to then propel yourself forward. But at times, if you replace that trigger step with a cross step, you're eating ground forward, which is taking you to where you want to go. And you still have good rhythm and just use that pivot foot to propel yourself forward and push off the ground. And now you're getting to the spots you want and getting to your angles even quicker, leaving help defense with less time to be able to get there. And then boom, right here. Peep IT, right? Isiah Thomas, bro. I'll keep on saying this, bro. At this time, at this point in the game, his jumper is probably one of the smoothest things I've done seen. And we need to start speaking about him more in the top point guard conversation, bro. I'm telling you. Because look at these type of buckets. Fade away on the baseline. Boom. What, 6'1"? Let's be real. Let's name 5 PGs who are better than him all time. Just name it for me. Provide a good argument, and we'll see about it. Then boom, right there. Clyde Drexler steal, right? Boom. Oh. All right, this shocked me. All right, I was like, I get why they call him the Glide. I was like, okay, you about to just get a layup. Isiah Thomas tried to get a charge. He just picks it up one hand over the top. All right, that's crazy. I don't think some people realize how tough that is right there. Then boom, right here. McGuire on this double team, right? Right block. Double team comes. But then anytime you get double team, though, there's always going to be somebody open. And the only reason why they didn't find that person right here is because they're spacing on that weak side and the timing of it. So notice, catch, right? Boom, stunt. Now the double comes. And realize what's going on right here. As soon as this double gets there, he already needs to know where his teammates are. So a dive should have already been occurring. But notice at the time which this dive occurs right here by 57. By that time, he already is under pressure. Now he has to get himself back into space and try to force something out of it. And he can't even see 15 up here at the top because that one defender could play 2 and could easily jump that lane. So now he just goes, forces up a shot. Shot clock may be low, but we don't know. I can't see it. Now Porter right here on the screen, right? Tries to reject that. Now, the reject is the right read, though, right? But they could have had a better look. So now peep this. So a lot of times you like to reject when you see that player that's defending the screener step up early. And so that shows you that if you get to that other side, there's going to be nobody to help the defender that's guarding you. So if you can turn that corner, you're good. But if you read your defender, like if Porter does right here with Dumar's, he's not allowing him to be able to reject that into space. So instead of trying to get this reject, right, you use this screen, but don't try to turn that corner, get back into space, and you allow your big to now slip because Laimbeer is showing on this double, and Dumar's is also going to be there. Lob past that over the top, 4-on-3 on this weak side. And right here, Porter, I think, once again, I can't even recognize some of these players sometimes because the quality is just so bad I can't see the numbers. But peep the pivots, right? Right-hand player, Porter, right? He's a right-hand player. Right foot pivot. Jab step, rip through, gets to a spot, sharp angles. And as a player, you always got to prepare yourself to be able to get into your triple threat off of either foot as a pivot. Righties usually more comfortable with the left foot pivot. Lefties usually more comfortable with the right foot pivot. But in the game of basketball, there's going to be so many situations you don't know will occur. And triple threat is going to be a time in which you never know which foot will be planted down. And you may just have to go straight to work off of that pivot that's down. And so instead of spending your time in the gym only working on one pivot, Make sure you're working on both so you can be prepared for any scenario that you are in a game. Now Blazers going in transition, right? What's that little screen, bro? In transition, screening is probably the most manipulative thing to do, and here's why. So you got Isiah Thomas getting back right here, right? Sally getting back. And they're still not in the position they want to be. They're not set in help defense. So what happens when you're going to go and set this screen, right? There's no communication on who to match up on, and there's no communication on the screen because you don't even know if it's occurring because everybody's just ball watching, still trying to get back to their position. So this is going to lead to a miscommunication, and Sally dropping back, being out of position, easy jumper. Then right here, peep Duckworth right here. Great defense right here on Edwards by Duckworth. Peep it. Some great defense. And notice what he did. He ate up his space before Edwards could get into his own space. And this makes a huge difference because this space right here on this block, right? This is the space that's going to allow Edwards to be able to turn, get his shoulders squared before he gets up into the air. Turn and get his feet squared before he gets up into the air. And so now that makes him do less work as he goes up into a shot. But since Duckworth right here, right? Peep this. He beats him to that space. He forces Edwards to now look at his feet, pointed to that baseline. Now look at his shoulders. Damn near also pointed to that baseline. And so now he's trying to do all the work he has to do in the air, but also with less space because Duckworth's eating up all that space. So he's going to try to get into the air and turn, but it's just going to be much harder because he doesn't have that space. And boom. I don't know if you'll get by with that type of play defensively nowadays. They may call a foul, but at this time, great defense. Then right here, peep Cooper right there. Big right there on that screen. That's exactly why you always must have active hands. All it took for Cooper right here, right? Him right here. All it took for him to stop this play was to have this left foot more forward and that left hand right out there like that. That's all you need to do to be able to discourage this pass from getting there to that big, right? Because your foot out would stop the bounce pass, and then your hand out will also stop the pass in the air. So not even make him want to throw that pass. But now gets that pass down there, clean to that baseline, gets the other side, foul. Now Drexler, right? Last possession of the third quarter on Dumars, right? Notice his positioning, his spacing as a defender. He left him that whole right side to go. Now, even though defensive principles say no middle, this is when you got to force him middle. Because notice the spacing. This left side is overloaded. So if you force him middle, right, you will have help. Somebody's going to be able to rotate and force one more pass, and you're going to be able to get back into your defense. But now, since you let him go right, notice how much space he has to turn this corner. All the room in the world to turn that corner. And since he gets to hit the spot he wants, and then he gets to the rim, and look at the touch that he puts on his leg. Now he's able to get that bucket because you just left him so much space to get to exactly where he wants to go. Now notice this play by Portland, right? Passer right here, Young, I believe his name, right here, right on this baseline. Drexler comes off the screen, boom, dish. The key to that whole play was the timing, because notice the time at which Young on that baseline went out across that screen and Drexler used that ball screen. Boom, gives it up to Drexler, gets down here. Drexler leaves, Young leaves simultaneously. So this allows them to be able to get to where they want at the same time, and so that Drexler could come off the screen and have the option of giving this to Young. And since Isiah Thomas got caught sleeping, got caught lacking, easy pass, tried to jump the lane, wasn't there, easy midi bucket. And now right here, right? Pete Laimbeer on this three. It was going crazy. Another leading scorer for Detroit. Foot on the line. That's a 2. This game went into overtime. And Laimbeer had, I think, 6 threes on the night. And maybe 2 shots that he had before, 2 to 3 of them, were counted as 2s because his foot was on the line. Because he takes that long step in like you've seen right here. Notice the step in he takes. That right foot comes in very wide and takes that step in deep. So now you're leaving points on the board, all because of about 1 to 2 inches where it could have been changed if you step further back. This is where you got to be conscious of your form as a shooter and say, okay, I know I like to step in and I want to get as close to the line as I can, but I got to start even further back than most players do because the way I step into my jumper. Had Laimbeer realized that early on and didn't leave those couple points on the board, the series could have been done in a sweep. This game went to overtime. At that 1 point, game could have been done. Now, boom, flip the cam. Peep the shot clock on this left side, right? Had to flip the cam, right? 4 seconds left. But all because there's only 4 seconds on the shot clock doesn't mean you skip the steps that'll give you an open shot. So right here, right? I believe this is Porter. So tell me, does he bump? Does he nudge? Does he set up himself coming off the screen to be able to get an open look? Does he do anything? Nope. Just runs off, pulls it, and shoots it. Now, with 4 seconds left, there's plenty of time for you to be able to do what you want to do, to be able to set up your shots and be able to get a clean look off instead of having to rush a shot like this. And the only reason it was rushed, because there's no setup, defender was there closer, now you just throw it up. They're right here, right? On this screen. Laimbeer with another bucket, right? But peep this. You get a look early on in this play, right? Because sometimes that 3 won't always bail you out. Like we were looking at before, right? When you see a player jump the screen, go out and double, you will have options. You can either try to reject this, or you can try to get this lob pass over the top. Right here, like IT could right here to Sally. But he can't because it's angled. So notice as he comes off the screen. Super tight on that angle, right? So instead, he needs to do this. When he gets right here to come off the screen, this first dribble that he's about to take coming off the screen, right? Instead of taking this at the player who's stepping up, you take it back. You take it back, now you allow yourself to have space to throw this lob pass to the player that's slipping, which is now Sally, and then you get down here, he has a help defender coming over, should be able to get a bucket out of this. But regardless, good shot by Laimbeer. He was going crazy. And now boom, Drexler, pull up 3, down 3, bucket. That's their first 3 of the game. And this is the 4th quarter with what, like 6 minutes left? They're 1 for 6. This is a whole different game. This is a whole different ball game, bro. This is a whole different ball game, bro. Then right there, Isiah Thomas. That's a swift, slithery finisher, Hall of Fame. Peep this angle though. Peep the second angle, right? Not the most athletic player in the world. He has speed, but he's able to control his jumps. I will always decide to be the player with the average vert and can control my jumps and be able to control myself in the air than be the person with a 42-inch vert but can't control myself and I could only go up. Because a person who can control their jump could be able to navigate themselves around bigger defenders, find little gaps, find little angles to be able to get buckets, because that's a goal at the end of the day, to be able to score and to be able to get to your angles or to be able to make plays. Now right here, it's overtime. Overtime, like I was saying, Laimbeer, that's what, 5 threes right now, I think? Maybe even 6. But now this is where the game begins to change, right? This is where the game changed. Isiah Thomas is fouled out right there. Isiah Thomas is fouled out. This is tough. This is tough now. And so now you don't have your lead guard, your best player, to be able to navigate this offense. And now you miss out on opportunities like this. Laimbeer can't bail you out every single time. He can't. So notice this. Edwards, catch, double team, right? Where's the cut? Where's the dive? Nowhere to be found. So now you get another kick out, and this leaves more time for this player that went on this double to be able to get back and recover. So now you get right back to McGuire. Defense already back set. Laimbeer ain't going to bail you out once again. And then right here, this play really messed them up. I'm not a fan of this call right here. They called a loose ball foul on Dumars. Now, people, tell me if you think this is a foul too, but me personally, I don't like it. I do not like it. Pete Dumars right here. I don't like that foul. I don't like it. They went to the line. They got 2 free throws. They up 2 right now at this point, right? I'm like, all right, they done. It's GG's. They cooked. Just mark it up, chalk it up. Laimbeer. I didn't even know he could shoot this good, bro. I did not know Laimbeer could shoot this good, but hey, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Man, now, boom. Detroit up by 1. And now this one. You did it to yourself. That's Dennis Rodman right there. One of the best defensive players of all time. Did it to themselves right there. Notice the hand check. This is a bad hand check. 2 hands at that. Look. 2 hands on his hip, man. End of games, you do not want to foul. You just want to make him take a tough shot. And if you foul like this, they don't even try. They're not even going up to get a shot. They're on the floor. Come on, man. That's a bad foul. That's tough. That's tough. They knocked down those 2. I believe they up 1 at this point. Try to get this shot to win the game. Nope. Blazers run off the floor, storming, celebrating that they got this win. They're lucky because this is the only win they got this series, so you better celebrate it while you can. And so that's the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe, like, turn on those notifications. We dropping NBA Finals games, about 2 videos a week, so make sure you subscribe to that. Make sure you hit the links in the description to go follow, catch the live streams, free game every other day. And we out of here.